she worked for the school district, so like I never got caught. It was like super hush stuff on the side after school, like where no one could see. And usually the times I fought, it was me like sticking up for someone. It wasn't like I was the one starting anything or anything like that. I was just, but I was down to, protect people and stuff like that, because I don't want anyone getting bullied or anything like that happening.
Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now. I want to start here, man. I saw that you recently got baptized. What prompted that decision? Usually people get baptized when they're pretty young, you know what I mean? You're an adult now.
Yeah, I was dedicated as a child, so it's kind of like getting baptized, but I didn't choose it. My parents made me do it, and then I've always been pretty strong in my faith, but then I was just, especially I had this whole thing happen, and I was getting prayed on, and it was kind of like I got baptized because I like gave myself to the Lord at that moment, and felt the Holy Ghost come onto me and started speaking in tongues. It was a super crazy experience. Like I just, my whole body was trembling, and then at that moment it literally felt like Jesus came down and gave me a hug. So I was just like, oh yeah, there's no denying that. I need to do this like seriously. And then that happened a few months ago, and then I was like, oh, I never like got like formally baptized. So I turned 30 yesterday, and I got baptized on Sunday, and I was like, Jesus got baptized when he turned 30, so I was just like, now's as good a time as ever. If it's good enough for Jesus, for sure good enough for me. And yeah, just went all in and got baptized.
For sure. Hey, happy birthday, and yeah, man, sounds good, man. Anything to improve your life and make yourself a better person, you know what I mean? Like you cannot go against that, right?
No, yeah, 100%. I'm sure some people aren't a fan of hearing it, but I think that everyone should just go ahead and make Jesus their Lord and Savior. I think it makes better people, just flat out, right? So, I mean, I'm not trying to be all like a guy that's pushing it. No judgment for anyone. It's not my place to judge anybody, but all I can say is, as from my experience, God is real, Jesus is real. So going down that route is definitely a good route to be on.
Has that changed anything that has, maybe bled into like your fighting, your training or anything like that?
I mean, no, I was never a person that fought with real animosity or anything like that. I just like fighting because it's something I enjoy doing. It's something I'm good at. I'm always trying to be friends with the people I fight with. I don't know if you saw that clip of like Ryan Garcia and Tank, and I guess Ryan asked Tank
Yeah.
if they could be friends after the fight, and Tank was like, "Oh, you shouldn't be a fighter," and I don't believe in that like at all. I got with my sparring partners, my main training partners, I fight them every day, and I'm really good friends with them. I'm the godfather to some of their children. I got no beef with them, and I can punch and kick them all day. And it doesn't change anything. I got no animosity when I go in the cage whatsoever. I got nothing but love for everybody. It's not going to stop me from fighting. It's not going to stop me from trying my best to win. Um, that's my job, and I don't do it with any kind of hate. I do it with love. I think, I don't know if everyone can do it, but I definitely can. I separate the two. It's pretty easy.
The last time, man, we saw you compete was against Ian Gary, 15 minutes of fighting. What did you think of how you performed in that fight?
I didn't perform my best. I did okay. I got really caught in. I can tell you, I thought I was gonna hit him, and he was gonna go to sleep, and I stopped trying to set things up. I was just like really trying to force it. I was like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. Especially after the second round, like right before the round was over, I clipped him on the chin, and the cage kind of held him up. Um, I think in that fight, in general, even the way that I was fighting him, looking for the knockout without trying to set thing up, I just kind of ran out of time more than anything. Um, at the end of the 15 minutes, he puts his head on my shoulder, and he like, gives me all kinds of respect. I feel like he knows that if the fight was a little longer, could have went either, any way. I kind of just ran out of time. But I mean, even in a 3 round setting, I could have done a lot better to win. I'd love to fight him again. I'd love to fight D-Rod again. I mean, and anybody I've lost to, I'd love to fight again. Is just, you know, we'll not up to me. God's plan, right? So whatever is meant
Yeah.
to happen is gonna happen. I'm just keep on doing my thing.
Your career is just kicking off, so you know what I mean. Anything could happen with those matchups in the future. So,
Yeah.
how were you physically and mentally after that fight?
I mean, I was good. I was just a little like, like down on myself, thinking like, oh man. Especially after watching the fights, I've watched the fight a bunch of times, and I just know that as a martial artist, I'm a lot better than what I showed. Like I didn't look too bad. Um, I made him I made him miss a lot actually, but I wasn't always capitalizing on those misses, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of things I could have done better, and that's shit. I was just like, I'm gonna make sure I do better next time.
10 months, man. It's been around 10 months between fights. Were there any particular reasons why you took so much time away from competition?
Uh, Not really. At first, I was because I'm kind of small for the weight class. I was like, you know what? Let me put a little bit more size on. Let me focus on getting a little stronger. And we focused on that for a little bit, and then soon as that happened, I was back in the gym, and I was really ready to train, and I was just like, give me a name, guys. I was just kind of waiting on them to give me somebody, and then they did, and then he got hurt, but then luckily, they were able to find a replacement for him in Bryan Battle.
With putting on size, you know what I mean? Is there a certain amount of muscle mass that you wanted to put on and that you accomplished that goal or anything like that?
I mean, there wasn't really like a real goal. I mean, maybe there was, but that's all up to my other coaches. I just showed up every day and did the work. I can tell you. I mean, I got a bit stronger. God
Mhm.
definitely put on a bit of muscle mass. Um, I'm gonna look a little different compared to my other weigh-in picture, for sure. So yeah, everyone says I got stronger. So and I definitely
Mhm.
feel stronger. But yeah, I mean, as far as I know, there wasn't like an actual like number, like, oh, I need to get here. It was just my coaches had a plan, and I just showed up every day and did the work. Just did what I was supposed to do. I was just like, all this other stuff is out of my pay grade. I'm just in here.
Mhm.
I just show up, do what I'm supposed to do, go home and read the Bible. That's it. So
Yeah.
I did all that. Now I'm ready.
In training though, you know what I mean, you take that, you know what I mean, you take the strength, you take the mass, do you feel a big difference in like maybe in your explosion, you know what I mean, when you're grappling or maybe has it impacted your striking in any way? Because you have power. It's just do you have more power?
Yeah, I mean that's it. I'm a bit more explosive. I'm a bit more powerful. I mean, I think it just made me a better fighter, in all ways, and um, I had good cardio before, and still got good cardio now. It didn't take a negative hit or anything like that.
Mhm.
So, I mean, however they made me do it, they would like shout out to my strength coach, Elite Smith, and his partner, Mark, all gas no breaks, because whatever science super secret stuff they had me going through, man, it definitely paid off. I think. Well, I mean, we'll see if it pays off on next Saturday, but I can tell it. I think it just made me a lot better of a.
May 13th, man, Charlotte, North Carolina. You're back in front of fans. You were in front of fans the last fight as well. Bryan Battle, thoughts on him and the fighting style?
Uh, I mean, he's pretty long, but I've experienced that before. I think it's gonna be fun. I think he's gonna want to just. I think he's just gonna try to fight me, and that's what I love to do. Like meet me in the middle and let's just throw the leather. Let's just see what happens. Like let's have fun. That was the one thing with the Ian Gary fight. He didn't really just fight me and allow the phone booth fighting to happen. So I think that Brian Battle's a little bit more down to just let him fly and make it an exciting fight for everyone to watch.
The last time he fought a guy with the power that may be similar to what you possess was Trayshawn Gore. Did you go back and check out that fight and how he kind of like game plan for Trayshawn, and what did you think of how he did in that fight?
I mean, I think I did watch that fight. Gore pushed forward, but he didn't really do anything with it. And then Battle showed some good cardio and was able to
Mm.
that's what I'm talking about. When Gore came forward and he actually clipped Battle a few times, Battle wasn't like he didn't get scared. He was like, no, this is my line. I'm gonna lay in the sand and I'm not gonna get pushed back anymore. And he threw back, and it's nice to see someone who's not gonna just be running away. Someone's gonna bite down on their mouthpiece and throw back. It makes for a fun fight for everybody. And yeah, I mean, and that's something cool too. Like I was saying, the cardio. So he's not going to get tired. He's going to be down to fight me the whole time, and that's just more fireworks for everybody.
He's gonna be pretty much fighting at home, so he's gonna have like a pretty decent, fan base, family, friends at the fights. From your experience of fighting near home, is there some kind of like added pressure, do you think, of like performing, and could that affect somebody in a fight?
I mean, I it could. I don't know him. I don't know his mental personality and like all that stuff. I don't know what's going on in his brain. So I don't know if it. One, we'll find out if it will or not on Saturday. But um, I mean, it definitely could if you put a little too much pressure on yourself. I mean, that's the big cool thing about going and giving myself to the Lord. I ain't worried about nothing. He didn't make us to worry. We only we're made to worship the Lord. So that's all I'm
Mhm.
trying to do. Only God's already decided what's going to happen in the fight. Now I just got to go find out.
Man, you've been affiliated with a couple of gyms. Where are you working to prepare for this upcoming fight?
I'm training at I'm with Tracy Hess Sub Fighter in Lakewood, CMMA Gardena. I go to Bryce Krause's gym, Rising Suns Muay Thai in Newport. I'm with Chewy with Raw Talent Boxing. I go to Forge Fitness for my strength and conditioning with the Lead Smith and All Gas No Breaks Mark. And then I've been doing some work at Kings too in
Oh,
Huntington Beach. So yeah, I mean, yeah, flying around all over the place, all in SoCal,
yeah.
just getting work in everywhere I can.
And who have you been like sparring mostly for this fight?
I mean, just a couple of the guys at my own gym. There's my main one's been his name's Josh. He's about the same height as Bryan Battle, so he gave me a good feel for his range and everything. But then there's a couple guys at Kings too that were good sized welterweights. Some of them, man, I'd be looking at them like, man, how you guys even make 170? Y'all are big. But yeah, I've been having I had some good bodies, some good looks.
Throughout that 10 months, who were the new additions? What is your strength and conditioning coach? Was that a new addition to your team or anybody else that's new for you?
Um, it wasn't that they were new, but we didn't have time to like with the time off where we weren't worried about like killing my body with just like like all the practices and everything like that. I for the first time was able to do like a real kind of like bulking, make the strength thing the real focus of all my workouts. So yeah, they've been working with me for the last couple like two years now. Um, and yeah, and if you look at like my weigh-ins, I'm a little bit bigger every single time, but this is the first time where I got to really kind of dive deep into the let me get a little bit thicker.
You've fought on a couple pay-per-views, and this one, will be in front of a crowd. It's a fight night, but you guys will probably have like ceremonial weigh-ins and all of that good stuff, man. How is it being in front of the fans in like that type of environment? Do you get hyped? Like, does it hype you up? Does it affect you? You know what I mean? Like, because fighting is a such an emotional sport.
Yeah, I love it. I love when people are there to watch, even like back to when I was a youngster getting to like little street fights when the crowd's kind of circled up around the fights and stuff like that. It was like now it's not even because like I said, I wasn't doing it because I was angry or anything. I think I'm just someone who likes to do it and like to perform, like to perform, like to show. Like check this out, guys. It's gonna be cool.
Mhm.
So with people watching, it's even better. Like imagine being an artist but never showing anyone your art. That's like that's not any fun. You gotta let people see it, and so it's so much better when there's an actual crowd. You can feel every
Yeah.
single like little bit of it, and then like my last time I fought, when I fought like Ian Gary, like unfortunately I lost, but before like the walkout, I walked out to some Kirk Franklin and took everyone to church. So that was dope in itself, and I'm looking forward to doing that again. Um,
Mhm.
More so than even the fighting. Like fighting's cool, fighting's important, but if I can do anything to just bring someone over to the Lord, then it's even better.
You have more submissions than knockouts, but you're kind of more known for your power on the feet. Do you see this fight just being all over the place, or do you feel like Bryan Battle's going to stand there and exchange with you throughout that 15 minutes, and it's going to give you an opportunity to maybe take him out?
Yeah, I mean, I do got some subs on my record, and I do like jujitsu. I do like to grapple. I just
Mhm.
I really like to hit people. So I mean, it's definitely like it's more fun to me. Like the other stuff is fun, but it's just really fun for me to scrap. I think it's fun for everyone to watch. And like I said, I'm a performer, so that's the thing. The stuff I really stick to, um, or like trying to make happen when everyone's watching. But if he decides to take it to the floor, I'm gonna be ready for that. If he wants to wrestle with me, we're gonna be wrestling. If he wants to to just stand and bang, then we'll stand and bang. The reason why I have the the subs and stuff is just because they decided that they wanted to go to the floor and like start shooting on me and stuff. So I mean, if he shoots on me and he wants it to happen that way, then he might just give me a limb or something. But that's all up to him. I'm gonna go out there and I'm trying to have fun.
One last question, man. How do people react to you with, you having the occupation of as a fighter, what I mean, with the personality that you have and your demeanor, you're pretty like calm, you're not like a loud person, what I mean? You're just like when people don't know what you do and then you tell them after knowing you for a little bit, how do they react?
It's funny, even like when I first got into it, and like people who knew me when I was a kid and everything, because I've pretty much kind of been, like a little happy-go-lucky, chill person, my entire life. But when it comes down to it, everyone's like, "What the heck, really? Like, that's what you're doing?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, come watch me fight." And they're like, "Wait, what? Are you serious?" Um, but I mean, yeah, it usually throws people off because I was always like on the. I mean, like I did get into fights here and there, but my mom was part of the. She worked for the school district, so like I never
Mhm.
got caught. It was like super hush stuff on the side after school, like where no one could see. And usually the times I fought, it was me like sticking up for someone. It wasn't like I was the one starting anything or anything like that. I was just, but I was down to protect people and stuff like that because I don't want anyone getting bullied or anything like that happening.
Yeah.
Um, so I was never out there like looking for a fight. So like for me to be in the situation where I'm as close as you can to looking for a fight as you can, like legally, because like I go sign a contract for one. It
Mhm.
definitely throws people off because they wouldn't think that someone like me is even capable of doing this kind of stuff. Like I said, people like the no animosity thing. Like a lot of people think that we got to go out there and hate the world and have giant chips on our shoulder and all that stuff, but there's none of that. All love over here. We're just trying to have, I'm just trying to have fun. Just trying to love my life. Just, go out there and, if I can, and now, especially with giving myself to the Lord, if I can go ahead and bring as many other people with me, then super winning out here.
No doubt, man. May 13th, UFC Fight Night, Charlotte, North Carolina. Go follow him on social media. Gabe, thank you so much, man, for the time and all the best in the fight coming up.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.